Hi, for my informational speech today, I chose a topic that a lot of people don't find very interesting. It's called What is Family History? In a popular TED Talk entitled Everything You Know About Addiction is Wrong, British journalist Johann Hari teaches the opposite of addiction is not sobriety, which I found very intriguing. It's connection. Connecting with members of our family, past and present, by learning their history, it fills an innate need in each of us. Each of us have our own identity, our own culture, and own traditions that help you understand who you are. In the study at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, they questioned 66 different families. Each were asked to answer a few questions such as, do you know where your parents met? And do you know which person in your family that you look most alike? They found that the adolescents who reported knowing more stories about their familiar past showed higher levels of emotional well-being and also higher levels of identity and achievement. Okay, we're going to get down to the nitty and gritty. There is a point to family history. Here's a few pros and cons. As you may have realized, families are not perfect. Many people, when dealing with their family members, become bitter. Recently, my son, during his human anatomy class, they were required to take a sample of their own blood. The professor taught them all about the Punnett square. He showed each of them their own blood type, and in some way it would match up with their parents. Unfortunately, for several of the college students in this specific assignment, found out one was adopted and the other found out he was the product of an affair. On the website Pros and Cons of Family History, it states, family history can be a nightmare, made difficult by working with living family members. Perhaps you stopped talking to a sister 20 years ago because she married your boyfriend and she has all the family pictures. These are all valid reasons to not do family history. Another valid reason is who has the time to sort through pictures, online documents, or recording stories. This all can take a lot of time and can be just plain unpractical. There are legitimate reasons why, and that's okay if it's not your thing. But people that do push family history are doctors, scientists, geneticists, and even the CDC support it. The Center for Disease and Control states, you cannot change your genes, but you can change your unhealthy behaviors such as smoking, not exercising or being active, and poor eating habits. If you have a family health history of disease, you may have the most to gain from a lifestyle change. They also encourage screening tests such as blood sugar, having mammograms, and cancer screenings. It can help with early detections of disease. All right, I'm going to ask a question. Have you ever answered questions at a doctor's office about your family health history? Congratulations, you have officially done family history. For my family, this is important because my husband's family carries what is called the BRCA1 gene. It is better known as the BRCA1 gene, or some people call it the cancer gene. Females who carry this gene have a 70% chance of getting breast cancer and a 40% chance of ovarian cancer. Unfortunately, my husband's sister passed away from breast cancer, who was also a carrier, about 3 years ago. I encouraged my husband to be tested for the gene. We have 2 daughters, and if my husband was a carrier, they would have a 50% chance of having the gene as well. Well, he was tested and he does carry the gene. So now my children, my 2 girls, can go forward and make an educated decision on what they want to do, knowing that they have that gene. Psychologists even encourage family history. In Psychology Today, it states families that share stories of challenging times, during adolescence showed lower depression and anxiety. On the blog, What Am I Made Of? The author Melanie states, I didn't know one of my grandfathers well, but the little I did know of him left me with a negative impression. He was the product of his upbringing and the pain and suffering of his ancestors. Learning about where he came from has given me a different, more compassionate lens which to view his life. Now we have covered the pros and cons of family history. We can probably all agree there is a point. To some of us, it's a little heartbreaking, dredging up the past. For others, it's exciting. It can be used to further our understanding of why we are the way we are, or find out if we're prone to cancer or diabetes. Though each of us have our own opinion about family history, I hope that now you know a little bit more about it.